and welcome to this tutorial today brought to you by To The Tick, and today's subject is the triple top. Now the triple top is one of many reversal patterns, and we have double tops that happen before the triple tops, quad tops, whatever the reversal patterns are. We're visually representing the changing of the control of trend. That's what you're looking for. So, and you're trying to find it where that trend might change from that very first opportunity where you might see it, get a little whiff that something's happened, until it actually confirms and everybody can see it. They won't all look the same, but let's go through the structure of a textbook perfect looking reversal pattern in a very speedy bar by bar sequence, just like we would watch this unfold in live time. Again, I've speeded it up for us so we can get it all laid out here so we can see it. And whatever your time frame is you're looking at, all of that is up to you. But basically, we have a couple of rules about the pattern. Number one, in order to have a reversal, you must have a trend in the background in order to reverse. That trend, in the case of a triple top, we're looking for a reversal with a bullish trending background, and the bulls have finally gotten up into a swing high area where they've got enough selling activity to stop the advance of price. Now the size of that advance that gets stopped and what you want to consider to trade a reversal is up to you. But it's a significant amount of a pullback effort in between a high and what could be a second effort on a high is what establishes your first points to be looking for in a reversal. So it's swing high to swing low. Personally, I don't work with the little tippy things. I look for the meat, and I look for where most of the money and activity is happening inside that range. Then I go for the middle. Show me what I call the muddy trench, and that is the red dots here. And it represents a zone, not an exact tick, although it can get to that, much like a muddy trench if you're playing a tug of war. There's a battleground in there where they're fighting over it. And think about it. The bulls are trying to get filled on a price nice and high. They've seen that high price. They don't want to have to suffer and take this price back here. So buyers step in down here, and this becomes a great trend trade to go long on that first swing low, and everybody's looking for the middle to see who proves it. And the odds are still with the trend being able to push to that upper line. We're looking for the box and this outline of price from swing one high, swing one low. Now we get to have a price profit target added to the breakdown of our box that's exactly the same size of our box. So a repeat, if you will, box to box. And that's what we're looking for, the target. From this moment forward, we don't have to think about that anymore. So what we're looking for now is letting the pattern unfold. And remember that you're working against a trend in the background. The strength of that trend in the background will have much to do with how many tops you might be looking at. Because again, you don't know that they're not going to put in yet another new high and take out swing high one. And you're going to wish you were taking that long trade down here. But this is the trade long. If the pattern is big enough, trade it. Reversal patterns are tradable in both directions. The battleground here in the middle, that muddy trench, is always being monitored to let you know who's in control. Each swing action, and we're going to watch this next swing, and we're looking to see the efforts, and we're watching that volume as they go through that muddy trench and make that effort back up to that top. Do the bulls have enough juice to get on with it here? Do you want it or don't you? If you don't, you're liable to see another pull down. If they fail and they pull down, it's gotten a little weaker. And yet, is it through yet? Do you have any confirmation that anything's breaking down? No. So again, you're watching the volume. Once it approaches the extreme on your box, and your box is already outlined, thank you very much. Does it have to hit those numbers exactly? No. You're already prepared for that. You understood what you were doing, taking the meat, and you're trying to be patient on a big trending triple top potential pattern. Because after all, if it does signal a big reverse, you're going to have numerous options of where to get in here. So you can sit back and wait and watch this third time is the charm, and the same questions. Bulls, can you do it or not? Well, you got higher than the last effort, I'll give you that. And you held a higher low when you came pulling down here. The muddy trench was controlled tight right there. So what happens next? Prove it to us. And remember, anybody that took long trades, everybody so far is looking for places to take some profits in this zone. It sometimes takes a while and dribbles, and other times it's very quick, and it just takes the whole thing out. Triple tops can be beautiful picture perfects like this one is, and they can actually take a long time, be spread out over time, but it's about watching a duel between buyers and selling, changing hands of whether they want to be a buyer or a seller, and the muddy trench gives you yet that other option of, notice it's the most worked number and area. It's worked on every single swing, regardless of whether you hit the outside edges or not. Notice that the breakdown goes through the line and it does pull back up, and yet it does not retest here, and it just keeps going. It confirms once it is not able to get back to the breakdown line. The symmetry in these patterns has a tendency to repeat. So if you're trading in a market that typically has a lot of three effort action, they get a double top and they sometimes give you a nice double top, and yet often your double tops, they fail to actually perform for you, meaning that they're just not quite ready yet, especially on the high side. That triple effort, sometimes it looks like they're just floating on air. Sometimes it's not about the number of sellers when you're looking at the topping formations. It's about the lack of buyers. They can't go through a new number. That doesn't mean they can't hover up here for a long time. So the symmetry, quite often, I will give you a tip. If you will pay attention to the history of the instruments you're trying to trade, look at it in different time frames, and you will see patterns there on whether you get a lot of 2s or 3s, or maybe your group does a lot of 4s. You know, there are patterns within the structure of each individual instrument. I encourage you to study your background material. The bottom line is still that this pattern is watching that duel, and we're watching them moving from being in a buying trending situation. And if you get your pattern breakdown here, the potential is actually for a great big change of trend. So you may be running trailers. Trailer options work very nicely with these patterns, and yet realize you will get these pullback ups into zones that they've broken, so you will get opportunities in a rather stair-stepping fashion on the way down. But it has the potential to be worth a lot of money, and especially the triple tops. They don't happen as often, especially not in all markets, but they're great trades. So let's go ahead, and I wanted to show you an example, since they are quite often just an extension of a double top. This was a perfect double top where it failed to give you any kind of breakdown. The double top failed to give any breakdown whatsoever. There was some money to be made if you took it on the high. There's money to be made if you took it in the middle, but after that, no money to be made. So it's a failed breakdown. Quite often, a triple will present after a failed double top. Okay, so be aware of that. Doesn't mean you can give up on your reverse. Just really realize that if it doesn't break down, it's going to try it again. And again, use your muddy trenches, that interim. Is it definition of confirmation for you, or is it a target for you? Either one. Okay, we won't go into the details here. You'll find all of these on the website. I want to do a nice little summation here and understand that to have a triple top, it's a reversal pattern. We have to have something to reverse, and it's a bullish trending background is what kicks this pattern off. First big push into a new high, there's enough sellers that step in. That's the definition of resistance, and they create a pause in the advancing action. You don't know if they're done yet, but to get the profit taking, how strong is it? Establish that muddy trench. Establish your outline for your rectangle. That swing high and low spread, you're looking for that establishment, and that is your target moving forward. Your stop limits will be just above, and now we're going to talk about those entries. And remember, there are 4 that I'm going to give you, 3 that are textbook, okay? Number 1, most aggressive, you're looking for a triple top entry in the swing high price area. Look for volume to help you. Realize those thrusting bars are often a big signal that they're turning around. Number 2 is a lav method, and it is after you've seen that third high already happen, and now you're looking in the muddy trench area. Who is in control? After all, they could come back in there and hold and push higher. Trend is still in control. The definition of a triple top does not confirm as a reversal until there is a total breakdown. Are you going to wait for that? Or are you going to try to get in early? That's what it means to be a counter trend trader. Number 3 is to wait for that actual breakdown. This is the classic way to do it without the aggressive attitude, and the swing low price area is your entry. My least favorite. Number 4, the most conservative, and that's you're asking for price to retest that breakdown area. Come back up here again and give me a chance and let me watch it fail yet again. And if you do get that, it has a very high rate of return and high odds that it will work. It's just you might not get that opportunity on that trade number 4 that often. Okay, so thank you very much. This has been brought to you today from To The Tick, and you've got your video, text description, chart examples for our pattern today, our triple top, and plenty of other educational materials at tothetick.com/edu. Come join us. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.